Anyway,
you know?
So Hamza, I know that you have had a position about the OSP, but 2 days ago, Martin Kpebu and then the pastor as well also petitioned the removal of the OSP. In fact, it's brewed a lot so much that the OSP has been explaining what happened exactly when Martin Kpebu was invited. They have detailed what has happened. Martin Kpebu as well also feels that, I mean, he also has his own side of the story. I think for the conversation around the OSP and Martin Kpebu, are you okay with the way it is going and what it really means for the fight against corruption in this country?
MFA, first of all, before I even run commentary on it, I'm glad that around this table we all seem to agree that as politicians, especially as political leaders, we have to be very careful with our tone when it comes to certain state institutions, and the judiciary is one such institution.
Especially judiciary.
Yes. And so, clearly, even if we are not saying it publicly, but I think that the subtle message has also been sent, even by Kamal himself, to the minority leader.
No, nothing like that has been happening. Hamza, we will not look. See, the whole day we've tried to do this. Hamza is trying to play a game here, you don't do that.
No.
When you were calling the Supreme Court unanimous FC, where was your majority? Where were you? You see, I've kept quiet. I've kept quiet because you are trying to
You see how the
holier than thou hypocrisy will not work.
You people have been bringing him here.
This holier than thou hypocrisy, no, we all want this.
The man raised the MPP, the MPP will not work. Then they begin to do. You bring two MPP people on this platform and get the impression that he's a neutral
clarity on
no.
The man has
spontaneously the two MPP in them.
No, this hypocrisy will not work.
But you know that I can inherently say that you also are NPP. It's not enough if you tell me you are you.
No, it came out naturally.
He said he's MPP.
He's inherently MPP.
Who is that?
I like this.
No. I'm a United Party member. I am a United
I can only address him by what he wants me to address him. So let's proceed. Let's make the point.
The former parliamental candidate on the ticket.
Hamza, I'm saying that this hypocrisy you are
doing will not work
me
that.
Ram down the whole.
Are you not allowed to give that information?
No, you can give me, but
are you not allowed to?
Before you run down, before you call, anonymous FC.
You can tell me.
I've been quiet because
can I make my?
I've been quiet, but you are trying to play both victim and you are trying to do some hypocrisy. Doesn't work. Okay, now we'll know.
What triggered you at the moment?
No, it's because I've seen. I'm watching the naked hypocrisy. No, you had to come.
Can I go?
Hang on, Hamza.
Are they out? Are they done with their shouting? Are they done with their shouting?
No, we are not. Now we all start. Now we all do it. Now we all do the interruptions. No,
you are doing just fine.
I was doing just fine.
No, when you were making your point, he didn't interject. Okay, make the point.
It is to belittle the issues. If you attempt to use statements like unanimous FC that were championed by party activists and put it in the same measure of assessment
I do not want
with
to
a
address
statement like paymasters.
I want to talk about Martin Kpebu.
I'll get there.
No,
with a statement like
I want to talk about Martin Kpebu.
By no means a person, but your minority leader.
No, Hamza. We're done with that. Let's go to
Accepted. But I can understand their discomfort. But the truth is that at least sometimes there's a need for us to have this kind of sanity.
No, Hamza.
Especially when it comes to
I want to assure you something. So my viewers, right? They're so discerning that you don't need to break everything down to
Thank you. So they can tell from their reactions. That's fair. I respect that. I trust the viewers too. But you see, when it comes to the issue of the OSP and Martin Kpebu's position, I have had the opportunity of following excerpts of his petition. And it is simply calling for two things. Either the removal of the office of the Special Prosecutor or the scrapping of that particular office. And I don't disagree. As far as that petition is concerned, I think that on this very table, I gave you the historical evolution of the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the fact that, indeed, it was a campaign promise of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo intended for political objectives. Subsequently, when the office was formed, the first Special Prosecutor had cause to refer to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself as the mother serpent of corruption. when he attempted influencing and directing the work of the respected Martin Alamisi Amidu. Now, as if that was not enough, this same special prosecutor, even when he was appointed, subsequently addressed a press conference to tell the entire nation of how state agencies and the Ministry of Finance in particular made it practically impossible for him to carry out his mandate because of the issue of funds. And he was not the first person to raise the issue of funds. Even Martin Amidu had cause to complain about how deliberately government was trying to frustrate the office by holding off certain funds from getting to them. So from the word go, the setting up of the office was not nationalistic in objective, it was political and parochial. Secondly, when they realized, the proponents of that particular idea, when they realized that it was not serving those political objectives, they decided to deny the office the needed independence to be able to work and function. These are key things that we cannot take for granted, MFA. Today, that same special prosecutor who had cause to complain about interference and deliberate denial of access to funds to be able to discharge his constitutionally mandated duties, has told the entire nation that even when it came to the investigations against Ken Ofori-Atta, the presidency practically made it impossible because that was the president's chasm for him to operate, compromising the whole idea of independence we anticipated that it would have. So as a nation, it's been more than 5 years now. It is only reasonable for us to begin to ask ourselves whether indeed that particular office is something we must still continue to fund, or the time has come for us to take it away.
But what do you think?
I am of the view, like we held in opposition as a political party, whatever the special prosecutor is mandated to do, there are so many state institutions that can actually carry out that particular responsibility. Indeed, the Attorney General is still best suited to do that because under Article 88, the decision or the authority of prosecution still resides in the office of the Attorney General. And so, for me, that office is needless, irrelevant, and there's the need for us to save the taxpayers' money by creating another structure like the OSP that simply is seen as now obstructing our collective desire for political accountability.
Okay.
Because if the office is dealing with a case, it becomes practically impossible for the Attorney General to deal with the same case. And we have listened to the likes of Manasseh Azure-Wuni, who have raised issues bordering on integrity and credibility on the special, as far as the special prosecutor is concerned. These are the very people who investigated the SML matter. Today, these same journalists are beginning to raise doubts about the integrity of the occupant of the office. So that also justifies possible investigations into the conduct of the occupant himself. And that's why I told you that I agree in principle with Martin Kwebu's petition. In any case, my brother, why is it that Martin Kwebu raises allegations against you, the special prosecutor, and you have arrogated some power to yourself to investigate those allegations? How? Where is it that?
Why also is any other investigative body not interested in wanting to investigate that allegation?
Which allegation?
By him?
Martin Kwebu on the said program indicated, that led to all this, that he was preparing to file a petition to His Excellency the President to get the gentleman out of office. He didn't mince words. So do not jump the gun. What you are doing is trying to intimidate or attempt to intimidate a gentleman you cannot intimidate. And that's why he's having problems. Because his allegations are against you. You are inviting him to come sit before you and level those allegations and justify them before you. So you want to be a judge in your own case. Who does that? And you see, many of these issues, MFA, you see, many of these issues, and I'll tell them this. When the MPP started, when they wanted to implement that policy of introducing
ready to land.
The Special Prosecutor's Office,
that's them.
And we caution today,
Oh,
today,
my time here.
Who are those crying the loudest about the activities of the Special Prosecutor? Is it not the MPP?
Well, I'll ask Kamal when I get in.
Is it not the MPP? They are those crying. Suddenly, the office that they campaigned on, they promised against Wines Council, suddenly has become a problem in the institutional structure of Ghana. When did they realize that?
It's good to land here.
And thankfully,
it's good to land here.
Thankfully, we have a president who is measured and calm. We have a president who understands that his decisions today would undoubtedly have consequences in the future.
Okay.
For the future. And so we would do what is needed to sanitize that process or that space. And if the president is convinced, based on his consultations with the Council of State, that that office ought to go, I'm sure that we will start engagement with the Parliament of Ghana to ensure that we get that office out of our law books. But I think that that office is irrelevant and is not needed.
Well, thank you very much. You see, we have a history in this country that has to do with laws that are carved or made to fight corruption. Willfully causing financial loss to the state was passed to assist in fighting corruption so that public officers will be guided by that law. The procurement law under Akufo was also passed to ensure that at least we fight corruption. Fast forward, the OSP, with good intention by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, thought that we should have a special prosecutor to deal with issues of corruption and corruption-related offenses. These are the intentions, basically. Now, having had all these laws operated, the OSP, which we are supposed to deal with today, did not also say that the person who is appointed, once you come to office, you have a clean bill of health till you die. No. It says under Section 15 of the Act, the OSP Act, okay, Act 959, that if a citizen is aggrieved or had cause to believe that your operational procedures hinge on incompetence, that person can bring a petition for you to be removed. If a citizen believes that it hinges on misbehavior, you can be removed through a petition. And there's a process outlined under Section 15 of the Act, as it were. And I believe that Martin Kpebu is coming under Section 15 of the OSP Act. And maybe LI 2373 and LI 2374.
You quote your authorities quite correctly.
Basically. So I am saying that there's nothing wrong with a citizen of Ghana coming under the law to cite and give evidence why a public officer who is supposed to do right or to do what he thinks is supposed right is not doing right. I don't have a problem. We can trigger the process.
Okay.
But you see, I am worried because why only the OSP all the time? Martin Hamidu held that office. Martin Hamidu himself decided to resign. Martin Hamidu is on record. In fact, this is alleged under Akufo-Addo to have petitioned that the OSP, current OSP, be removed. As to whether or not that petition came out, we have to look at it. But of course, there were snipers of information in the media that some petition was actually going against Kisi Ejabe. Martin Hamidu, not too long ago, recently, decided to resort to the court of public opinion and wrote that he thinks the OSP is not serving its purpose. Coupled with others, what I can only say here is that if we have had laws which are to help us save and fight corruption, and we have in this matter, this case, this one, where the likes of Manasseh Azure Awini would also raise competency issues, I just think that the law should take its course and we see how it will end.
I think we should all clap for Kamal because he stuck to the time. He was precise. He didn't have to let me struggle to say stop, it's okay, not jai, and all of that.
Did you give me that credit?
I don't want to resort to semantics.
Did you give me that
Let's
credit?
go to the main matters and then we'll deal with it properly.
I finished before him. Did you have to struggle?
It's not about talking about MPP,
is the credit I have, I want to give it to Solomon.
The matter is that when you don't have much to say, you don't have to force yourself to say.
Listen,
you will not clap.
and the truth of the matter also is that when you have much to say, which is chaff, you don't even have to bother our ears with it.
I hope you.
That's also the truth of the matter.
Okay, well, you did well. Come on, you did well.
I'm saying the truth of the matter also has to do when you have much to say, which is chaff.
Come on, you're about to let me take my credit back.
What is happening is that I'm happy Kama started by quoting Martin Amidu on what he has said and what he has not said. I mean, one of the things that Martin has said whilst he was in office was that President Akufo-Addo was the mother serpent of all corruptions. And so by saying that, he was, as it were, chased out. At a point, he had to resign and then go and find something else to do. The office of the Special Prosecutor, that office was needless.
Very needless.
Totally needless. Because our Constitution captures the Attorney General as the one that initiates all prosecutions. That office has been captured, the only ministry that has been captured in our Constitution. What has been the problem with that ministry? They say lack of adequate budgetary allocation. So if you have enough funds, why then go and create another office, but not rather giving the money to the Attorney General's office so that they can engage more lawyers, qualified ones as such, to do the very work that you expected the OSP to do.
I'm not taking some of your time, but just drawing your attention to this. Would it matter when they say that certain processes were triggered by an institution that the head of it was appointed by a government? It makes it a bit difficult. For example, extradition processes. You hear that the OSP says that if the process is triggered by an institution such as the Attorney General, it might be tinted by political witch hunting. And so in such situations, wouldn't the OSP would have been probably...
This OSP, he's not going to help this guy. He's not going to retrieve a dime for this country. Don't worry, it's semantics. The case involving Kenneth Furiata, he will never bring him today. He will never bring him tomorrow. The very day he did that press conference and said, Ankwanoma, but the main boyfriend, having listened to the entire song, that song, the words that is contained in that song, you would have drawn your conclusion that he had given up. So I was thinking after that press conference, he will hand in his resignation letter. We are only doing semantics here. You understand? And that is why, after the establishment of that office, the Movement for Change, now the United Party, in our great transformation plan, in page 43 said that we seem as a country to have a lot of institutions all portraying that they are fighting corruption, yet none of them is doing anything. So we must do well to, as it were, harmonize our existing legislations and create one office. Yoko says it's fighting corruption, NIB says it's fighting corruption, OSP says it's fighting corruption, Shah says so. We don't know which is which. In the case of Cecilia Dapa, this OSP went into the matter, giddy. At a point, he told us that it has gotten to the levels of money laundering that fell outside his remit. And so Yoko had to deal with it. Till date, nothing has happened. So it is either you are going to consolidate all these institutions and then appoint one anti-corruption czar who is independent of the Attorney General, or you scrap it. And that is why I agree entirely with Martin Pebu. I was somewhere yesterday. I would have joined him on the demonstration. And look, the OSP must not think that he can intimidate anybody in this country. He, for Christ's sake, Martin Pebu is a taxpayer. He's been paid by the taxpayer. And if a taxpayer is questioning your competence, you say what? That taxpayer must come and sit before you and be explaining himself to you. Are you kidding me?
The OSP in 2023 flagged some over 10,000 ghost workers.
He has not flagged anything. These are all PR works. There's least opportunity to come and do press conference, shout and go and sleep. When the fire comes, he comes back and do a press conference. Where were did he publish the ghost names? I challenge him. I challenge him to publish the entire 10,000 ghost names that he claims he flashed it out. And if indeed he flashed 10,000 ghost names out, why did he not go and arrest all of them? This business of people just throwing something into the air, because the ghost he's claiming had names, they had bank accounts, that money that they were being paid were going into. It means people were withdrawing that money. If indeed it's true, why did he not go and arrest and prosecute those people? We are not kids in this country. I have a similar problem with the current finance minister. Recently he said he stopped 1 billion from being paid when it had gotten to the bank transfer advisory levels of contractors who have faked, forged interim payment certificates. If you have been able to do this, why don't you let us go and arrest all those who perpetrated this crime?
Because forgery is a crime.
You understand? So don't even go there with this 10,000 thing. We look.
This PR government will not do that. PR government.
Now you agree with the United
But they are PR government. I mean, NDC is a PR government. You know that. They only do PR.
At a point, you were sitting here, say you and NDC were the same. So if you and them are the same, allow the United Party.
I'm only corroborating your point. I'm helping
you. People. You and them are the same. Don't bring your debt onto me. I am independent here. So Martin is right. I support him today. I support him tomorrow.
So you support the removal of that office completely, or the OSP himself?
I've said if that office will remain, they have to align all the other so-called anti-corruption agencies like IOCO, SRAJ, NIB. They must consolidate all of them, enhance their legislations.
If they're consolidated, should it be consolidated into one institution?
That is fighting corruption. Because like I guess,
so that they will now give it a new name?
No, if they give it or they want to still maintain the OSP, that's fine. Okay. And then let it be independent of the Attorney General. Because as it is now, the OSP still takes its power from the Attorney General. So what's the point? And moreover, he is not performing.
Okay. Okay.
You understand? This current OSP, he's not performing. Martin Abidu didn't perform. He's also not performing. And they are giving us always reasons, excuses.
And wasting our time.
And wasting our time and resources.
All right. Thank you so much for your submission. I would move to Dr. Zato.
Thank you. My positions on the OSP have been clearly articulated. In fact, last week I sat here and I said it. I said the office is a drain on the taxpayers' money. I said the whole office, that whole institution should be expunged, thrown away. The money for running it can be given to us to go to lunch.
Fantastic.
Or the money for running it can be used to improve the Tumu town roads. The money for it can be used to buy. There's a glut of maize.
If can be used to serve your subvention.
The money, okay, they can start by using it to pay our salaries. They can use it to go and buy the excess maize.
Did you advise everybody on this?
In Tumu, because the farmers they are crying. They don't have buffer stocks that say they don't have money to go and buy excess corn, maize, and.
Is that what buffer stock said? Buffer stock has been allocated.
No, the money is
200 million.
The money is finished. The minister said the money finished 3 days. It didn't get to Tumu. It finished. It didn't even get to Achimota, and the money finished. So the farmers in Tumu are still waiting for the other money to carry down. So they should close down the office and take it there. But all of a sudden, I'm beginning to hear there's something cry. So I just want to state my position. I'm going to say, oh, Dr. Zato is big because I've stated that position is clear. But I'm beginning to hear something. You see, the sister, let's say that if you because of other reasons, you don't like dog meat, you say it is what? A red goat. So that you can eat it, and the guys that red goat, there's no distance. So I begin to see that. There are some people, powerful people in this country, people whose voices are heard loud and clear on the corridors of power in the Jubilee House, who want Kisi Ajabin's job.
Really?
Yes.
That's not my concern. My concern is, do you want that office?
I've said that. Yeah, it should go. It should go.
Okay.
That's my position. But I'm not telling you. So when those you are hearing, people have gone to the all of a sudden, there's some striking similarities between oral and what they were expecting of what.
Oral is not established by law.
No, I'm just saying something. I'm making.
What is the similarities?
The similarities is that they promise a lot and deliver nothing. Very disappointing. They've all become political jargons. Yeah. Promise heaven and earth, oral. Only for us to hear that the same documents that in the oral has factual inaccuracies. Some of the figures there were created out of fantasy, fantasy land. It never existed. So that is why all of a sudden you realize that nobody's talking about oral.
Yes,
nobody's talking because that document there is just a fantasy document.
No, the Attorney General has adopted it, so we can't have
the same Attorney General, his deputies have all come out to say that the figures that they were mentioning there are not real.
Are not even.
They've said it.
Okay.
So that's that. See, so you've seen that huge disappointment. You've seen that disappointment. So people are now the NDC foot soldiers are now completely disappointed in oral because it's a political tool, and then they are also realizing that okay, we wanted to see OSP do something. They are also disappointed.
You want him to land.
You are allowed
He's
to
not saying anything until
all these things are not factually supported.
The point I'm making is this:
what he's claiming about
begin to look at it, it becomes so look.
Yes.
No, it's true.
I think that the hype about
the amount quoted by
when they were talking, I kept quiet. Now they are disrupting.
Nobody's hearing
He said it. Seriously.
When the fight over corruption is a real one.
Kamal and Hamza, please.
It's right.
The fight over corruption is real.
Yes.
The politicization of it is not helping anybody. We all need to begin to sit as a country to say that we need serious, powerful tools, institutions, structures to fight corruption. Corruption punishes every Ghanaian citizen. Corruption makes sure that vital services that should have reached all of us, vital services that should have reached the vulnerable, vital services like the salaries of a poor university worker like me are not rendered. And so we need to be able to find a very strong.
That's why you should have told your party when they were empowered and engaging in all kinds of corrupt deals. He's a member of the New Patriotic Party.
We don't do these things.
No.
He's a member of the NPP.
And we begin to play political football with the fight against corruption, then it becomes a game. When it's a game, people game it, and those who game it win.
So join the NDC
we
to clean the system and reset.
Poorer. We continue to become people who are not getting value for money for the things we are supposed to do. So look, there are needs for us to sit down and say that we may need serious reforms, we may need serious legislations, but when we don't do that and we engage in this game, those who will benefit are the very people that are engaged in this type of activities. So let's come together as a country and say, look, how do we fight corruption? Let's come together. In fact, sometimes begin to realize that if you put all the institutions that are fighting corruption in this country down, if you look at their budgets, those budgets may be equal to or more than the amount of money we're supposed to recover from corruption. So that means that we are spending more money.
So you agree with the United Party
chasing corruption than we are using more money to get the corruption.
Okay.
Why are we doing that?
Okay.
We know how to do this thing, or we should know how to do this thing. If we leave it to the experts, the political experts, the politicians, they will keep gaming this system and we'll never get value for our money.
That's very well said. Hamza, okay,
no,
please, a few seconds.
Yeah, so as he agrees that we have to fight corruption, I'll plead that when people are being investigated or arrested, they will not go and sit at Yoko. They will not go and shout on top of your.
I said that earlier.
And then
I said that earlier. Remember last year.
The advice is good. What you are telling the OSP is that they should go after Kenofuriata and go. Who is a man? They are billions. Who has run away from this country and is billions.
I never said they shouldn't do that.
And that's how I'm having to.
Thank you. The point I'm making is that
is he having a
no, his time is. In fact, he utilized his time very judiciously.
So two issues.
Is he reacting to me? Because if he also react to him, I'm
not reacting to you. I'm going.
The issues on the table. The issues on the table. When you make a point and your co-panelist is responding, he's not responding to you. Okay. He's responding to an issue I'm allowing to respond to.
After this, I also want to respond to an issue that
when the issue is worth responding to, why not?
MFR, I think.
But we're quickly having to.
We all agree. We all agree around this table that there's something wrong with the Office of Special Prosecutor.
Yes.
And we all agree that when it comes to the objectives, it is not living up to expectation. That is not, if I say that is not the failure of the National Democratic Congress, I'm not wrong to have said that. That's one. Two, the NPP must be humble enough to come back to the table.
To say what?
To say that indeed this was not well thought through. And that there's a need for us as a country to take a new chapter. My brother is recounting examples, please. My brother is recounting examples of corruption, targeted investigations that ought to be carried out.
Here's what I have to say, Hamza. If there's any advice to the NPP, I'm more than happy that you can read it on your Facebook wall, honestly.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't want you
the
to
MPP
campaign it.
is a creature of the Constitution.
I'm here to respond to you.
Can we start getting
Our Constitution makes you
otherwise they'll be responding.
You see,
No.
I don't know why we are dealing with this issue as though the MPP or political parties
No, because
are
on this
institutions
table,
that are
on this table, there has
Our
been a
Constitution
consensus
recognizes their existence.
that OSP
MFA,
is not
MFA.
an institution that
It is
should
the cause of decisions of political actors like myself.
That created the OSP.
That created the OSP.
You said
There must be political
when we do
accountability.
this, the thing is, when we do this, the NPP will take a trip back to the regime of the NBC.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
We are
matter.
discussing politics here. It is politics. Their party created their office. Must we not say it?
Today, you see, so I shouldn't say it.
President Akufo-Addo
If there
created
is a
it.
change of
Must it not be
position,
said?
MFA,
That's not what I'm saying.
if there is a change of, you see, that is the problem with this.
Oh.
And you see, so
We have
that's
a
why I've
discerning-
always said.
No, you are right. You are right on
That's
that.
why I've always said, MFA, that look, the
Don't be
only way this
distracted.
country will develop is if we begin to look each other in the eyes and be bold to tell each other
Absolutely.
the truth. Political parties must exude
say we
some
should move.
form of responsibility.
We are not moving on.
My brother
You all have to
suddenly
respond, then
has
we'll-
found his
we'll
voice,
talk about Guinea-Bissau
and he's
anymore.
talking.
Yeah.
My brother suddenly,
Can we move to Guinea-Bissau?
my brother
No,
suddenly
we
has found
started,
his
so you
voice,
must respond.
and
We
he's
won't talk
talking
about
about
Guinea-Bissau.
corruption.
Corruption.
Never in our country's history
Theory.
have we been subjected to the levels of corruption we had to endure in the last 8 years.
Okay, now
where was he?
That's not
now
true.
It's true.
Where was this
so
gentleman?
far, all the money, the corruption against you are making is about 5 billion.
You see,
Hey, it's not true. Hey, it's not true.
I'm saying so far.
It's not true.
It's how much?
It's not true.
It's how much?
The
So far, it's
Auditor
how
General's
much?
report
See,
alone.
I didn't
they
want
are
to
talking
go
about
down.
the
I didn't want to go back to that.
Oh.
Do you know how much?
Suddenly, this so-called political
Do you know
analyst.
how much money?
You see how he's behaving as an MPP.
This is your political
The matter
analyst.
is about
When I do-
MPP.
when I
You
want
say he's
to
a neutral
respond.
political
When I
analyst.
want to respond.
But
How
the
is your
matter is
neutral
about
political analyst?
MPP,
When I want
and
to
he has
respond.
taken the floor,
Let's go to-
discussing
let's go to
MPP
Guinea.
member.
Let's
You
go
said we should go to Guinea. We will be in
They-
MPP.
they-
You-
they-
you-
they are
We are not going to Guinea. We are saying on this matter.
We are not going
Let
to
me finish.
Guinea.
No, we are not going to Guinea.
Now let's go. Okay, we are staying. Let's stay. Let's stay.
So let's stay on corruption.
So,
see, as a political science lecturer, I know my brother knows.
Your attorney
As a
general
political-
one day.
As a political science lecturer, I know my brother knows.
Hang on.
Do you know how
When
much
it
money
comes
he
to
flies
the
down?
cost of corruption,
Do you know how much money? How
The
much money he
corruption
flies down?
levels under the MPP.
One day, oh, not a
it's a
profit.
lot.
Do you know how much money he flies down? They drain.
But Dr. Zato,
Yes.
I'm quite curious.
Yes, serious, good.
What did he say that triggered you?
And
I'm
the
saying
mentioning of the name MPP.
I'm saying that
The
let's
mentioning of the
They have been
name
leading him. I don't know
Hang
why.
on.
I'm saying let's
The mentioning of the name MPP.
Hamza is a master at these tactics.
Hang on.
Last week he did the same thing. To this,
Hang
I'm
on.
not allowing that because he does that. He sits down.
Okay.
And he's
What
trying to.
about
So
that?
I'm
Do you
just
know
trying to say he shouldn't do
what he has said?
Remember,
I
today,
expected
what have I
Kamal
done?
to be the
No,
one.
no, it's not. I know what he does.
No,
I know his game. I know him.
I know him.
I know him.
No, I know you know him. But he's talking
So,
about political
what am I
parties.
saying?
No, I'm
You only made
of
the
politics.
mention of the
But I want
MPP.
to-
That's my
and
only
it
point.
brought him
Hang
out.
hang on. I want two political parties to speak.
Okay, then
I'll come to the political analysis.
Who said he's the political analyst?
I agree, dude. I agree.
It is multimedia.
I agree. I agree.
Political analyst. He's
Can
not
I
a
take a
member.
break?
I agree.
He's not a PV member.
I'll take a break if we don't discipline ourselves.
MFA.
Okay.
I think my brother,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
you are done.
Okay.
You are done.
So it's only fair. You're not done, but it's only fair that he's triggered. So let him talk. It's only
He's
fair.
triggered, so
It's
he-
only
no,
fair.
I was not done.
It's only fair. I'm not saying you are
Of course,
done.
of
No, let me
But
tell
he's
you.
So if he triggers me
we
to
can't
the
be done all
cabinet.
the
You allowed him to interrupt you. You are going to allow him to
Hamza, do you
interrupt.
know something? We can be done all the
Hamza,
time.
you can't be.
When we make the point, we can be done.
Hamza,
I was making the point when he rudely
We
interrupted.
take the
MFA.
seed.
MFA.
We take the seed.
MFA, are you taking my time to hear?
Let's all of us
No, he's
respect
addressing
viewers.
the fact that-
Let's respect the viewers with all respect. With the great respect, let's respect the viewers.
You should have
There's
told
no
us to-
discerning. They are watching us.
And calm
they
down
want
until
to
I
pick
finish my
something from
submission.
our
Let's
discussion.
see what he wants
So
to
please, let's
respond to,
respect
because
him.
you have not landed, but he wants to respond. What are you responding
You
to, Kamal?
said-
Let's hear.
What he said was the level of corruption under the MPP
Okay.
is a match.
That's worth responding
And I
to,
thought-
Hamza.
So
That's-
let me finish and he can respond
No,
to you.
that's
Why are you
enough to
stopping me?
respond to.
Very disingenuous.
That's enough to respond to.
Listen.
So, but let me finish.
If for
That's
nothing
enough
at
to
all,
respond to.
if
There's
for
nothing to
nothing
finish.
at all,
So anything I
there's
say
someone
against
in
them, you
this
will stop me
country
midway for them to
who
respond.
is
Why?
our
No, that's
president,
what we'll be
the
doing
president
now.
of the
What are
Republic
we
of Ghana
doing?
now, John
That's what
Dramani
we're doing.
Mahama, who
What
is
are we
on
doing
record to have said that he cannot.
What are you doing? Are you going to allow me to
corrupt? He
continue
couldn't
to make
answer.
my
I want to hear him.
That person.
I want
At least
to
if
hear
for
him.
nothing at all, their own attorney general, after someone is alleged to have bagged in
He is
so much
making a
money,
submission.
comes
You know
out
that.
at the end of the day to say that pay 60% and keep 40%. We have never done it. Unprecedented. Martin Amidu and Co had to write.
So we did the plea bargaining law.
Corruption. At least for nothing at all. None of the prosecutors have been entered to be costing this country a whole lot of money. You are not talking about that.
Okay.
So corruption is a matter we should all fight.
Okay, now you have made the point. Let me go back to
no, the 60-40 is talking about
that. I want UP to talk.
Yeah, emanates from that plea bargaining law. That plea bargaining law was given to us by President Kufuor's administration. They sent the bill to Parliament. They had the majority. It was passed. And for which reason these people are? You see how these two parties, they are destroying this country. That's what I've been telling you. Give ears to the United Party.
That's all I wanted to hear from the UP party, and very well said. Now, what's the point? Apart from protesting what?
This program is not for to use.
Maybe I should repeat it.
Sorry? No. When you make a point and it's a solid point and I want clarity, I will insist. No.
That is unacceptable.
No, it is a discussion. No, Hamza, it's a discussion. It's not a speech delivery. It's a
then
discussion.
give me that privilege too. You don't allow me to.
No, you see, the point you have made is sane and sound to me, and I want a response.
He did the same last week. You asked the same last week.
Hamza, and let it be on record that the panelists...
I want to discuss Guinea-Bissau.
You see, their strategy is to abstract.
No, you said we'll talk about Guinea-Bissau. So when we get there, you'll now land on that point.
All of us will comment on the Guinea-Bissau.
That fact cannot be debated. We've all been in this country since '92.
What fact?
We have lived on daily basis. We wake up on daily basis to issues of corruption. True.
Quality grain scandal. Who's corruption?
But I can assure you,
I can start naming them.
That we, in a way, the good people of this country agree.
Yes.
That what we were subjected to in the 8 years of the NPP, clearly unprecedented in levels. And when we talk about corruption, it's not just even in terms of quantums. You may downplay the monies involved.
It's a serious matter.
But the perception of corruption, and in most cases, practicality of it on the ground, was clearly glaring for all to see. There were video evidence of presidential staffers caught on live camera receiving bribes.
Just as there were video evidence of under you, Moro of NSS having video evidence, bags of money receiving.
You see why?
So this is wrong on both sides. Let's fight it.
Equalization, you see the two of them?
Please.
Just as there were videos. People receiving money in bags.
Good.
Indeed.
Yes.
There is a video of a deputy finance minister negotiating to take bribes on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Unprecedented.
Serious?
Unprecedented. Indeed, there is evidence of the Vice President's office under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia himself.
Yes.
Engaging in the stealing of salary rice at the port.
That's why I've gone to the office of the Special Prosecutor.
But Hamza,
you are talking about that.
We still have a
What is your role in that?
No, but
you cannot go on
you have to respond. You know that.
How do you respond? I don't. But I'm telling you that don't stop me when I'm making my point.
Let him make
it is within their right to respond. I'm not saying they shouldn't respond.
But that would be to the detriment of those of us who are here. You understand?
They think that Ghanaians have forgotten. We have not. And so if you go and create an office,
when is my time out?
If you go and create an office intended to fight corruption,
the time is up.
Give all the time to
and you conduct yourself in such a manner.
The time is up. I think you have made the point.
How do you expect the OSP's office?
No.
Guinea-Bissau. It's not on politics. Guinea-Bissau. Because it's a political analyst.
I'm also a political analyst.
Okay, we'll divide it. You go first.
You go first.
30 seconds for you.
You see,
I'm done with the politicians.
And you are talking about massing up police.
No, Hamza. No, Hamza. Please mute Hamza's microphone.
Something happened earlier this year.
Yeah.
When, during the inauguration of His Excellency the President, the Ivorian Burkinabe president came here. Assembly dictator. That guy was being cheered.
Let's talk about Guinea-Bissau. I don't want to go to Burkina. Let's talk about Guinea-Bissau. Yes, no. There are many coup d'etats, and if we start with Burkina, we have to go around all the countries. So
coup d'etats. Democracy might have its own problems. Democracy is not the best form of government, but it has no alternative. There are people there who sometimes try to look, because of the PR, because of small videos of dictators, they try to think that military regime is better. If you've ever lived under military dictatorship, you will never wish for same. If your family has ever suffered, if people have ever gone under things, you will never do the same. I understand that sometimes democracy gives us that opportunity to behave like spoiled children sometimes. So now you think that your father or your mother is not necessarily because they are there. It's the day, unfortunately, if they are not there, that you didn't realize that there's life. So please, let's protect our democratic guardrails. Let's never for any day think that some people always say benevolent dictator. There's nothing like a benevolent dictator. Every dictator is a dictator. Please, let's protect our democratic gains. Let's make sure that we hold our parties, our governments to accountable. Let's protect our judiciary, our parliament, our executive. Whatever we do, every 4 years, let's continue the ritual.
Well done.
Line up across the country, choose whom we want, make our noise, sit down and jaw like this, talk like this. After that, let's go have a beer. But please, never should any disappointed or disgruntled soldier things that he alone, just because you have a gun and you can shoot, you alone have the best idea to save this country. You cannot.
Thank you.
Stay in your barracks. If you want to be a politician.
Solomon, I'll give you 30 seconds to just speak on this.
So I agree.
The politicians are out of this.
All of us 30 seconds.
Let's talk about politicians.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
not
I agree.
We are others well placed to speak to the matter of
You people know what to
But
do.
he's a politician. He's a communication.
Yeah.
Director of communication for you.
Remember, he used to
The political parties. Why are you giving him
No, because it's my first time engaging you, I'll give you that 30
Give it
seconds.
to me.
Please
Yes,
take it.
that's good. It's
He has formed a party with some 31,000
good
people.
judgment. I mean,
Give my time.
I will be
You
the
don't have
last
any time
person.
anymore.
He has formed a party with some 31,000 people.
Any coup d'etat of any sort, I will be the last person to endorse it.
Right.
And indeed, the military leaders over there who have taken over the country must immediately hand over the country back to the civilians too. If they want to be the president of that country, they must take off the military attire, go and form a political party or join a political party, present their manifesto, campaign, and win the trust of the people. You can't just use the back door to take over a country and tell us that there is confusion in election. Every election comes with confusion, but it has to be resolved through the institutions available. And that is why I believe that when the United Party, through our leader, becomes the president, we will try and bring ECOWAS together.
Thank you very much. I believe that tomorrow we can have the time to talk about the put. No, unfortunately.
It's very important.
Quickly, Kamal.
A Ghanaian statesman actually led the ECOWAS delegation to this election. Baba Kamara, okay, a former ambassador or high commissioner to Nigeria, a former statesman under the government of NDC. I think he was a national security advisor at a point, as it were. He was actually the one chosen to lead the delegation of ECOWAS to this election. And on the eve of declaring the results, is when the military got up to say they have taken over and arrested the president, Umaru Sissoco or so. So I am saying that it is important, just as Dr. Zato has stated and my brother has stated, coups should not actually be countenanced. Coups should not be hailed in this country. However, do that and do that well, not with mischief. In one breath, you are hailing people who have done coup.
I think you have.
And then the next moment, you are against people who have done coup.
Don't crash
Let's find out what
Thank
it
you
is like.
so much. Kamal
Hamza and
Bin Abdullahi, Deputy Director for the NPP. He speaks for the NPP as well. Joshua Zato, Doctor, of course, is a political scientist and policy analyst whose position or title is severely under debate. Hamza Suhaini, lawyer and member of the NDC communications team, as well as Solomon Owusu, communications director and spokesperson, United Party. I hope that sometime later tomorrow or subsequent days we can get time to talk about Guinea-Bissau and the putsch that's happening in that country with just about 2 million people and quite notorious for coup d'etats is worth discussing. But this is the AM show. Gentlemen, it's been quite eventful on this morning segment, but please stay this more.